Gospel singers are expected to operate on a level of moral standards that most artists aren't held to, especially when that gospel singer is also a minister who leads a megachurch. But in recent years, we have started to see more and more religious leaders get exposed for being more depraved than the sinners they tend to condemn. That is such the case with Donnie McClurkin, a multi-Grammy winning gospel artist and megachurch minister who is considered one of the biggest urban gospel singers of all time. Donnie built himself an empire on his image of a godly man who used his gift for God. But while Donnie pretended to be a man of God, it now seems he was nothing but a fraud, a wolf in sheep's clothing, as the gospel legend was recently accused of disturbing allegations in a shocking lawsuit. A lawsuit that not only accuses him of grooming, but also of R-wording his former male personal assistant. Now, everyone is stuck wondering if Donnie McClurkin was ever a man of God, or if he was just a devil in disguise the whole time. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about Donnie McClurkin's lawsuit. Let's get right into it. In the world of gospel music, Donnie McClurkin is a superstar. He is a 3-time Grammy Award winner, known for his hit songs like Wait on the Lord and I'll Fly Away. He is also one of the top-selling gospel artists of all time, with over 10 million albums sold worldwide. On top of this, he is also a well-respected minister and the founder and senior pastor of Perfecting Faith Church, located in Freeport, New York. This made Donnie McClurkin a prominent figure in the Christian world, with many Christians looking up to him and following his ministry. So you could only imagine how betrayed Christians felt when they saw this godly man they looked up to was being accused of the unthinkable. Just a few days ago, Donnie McClurkin was sued by his former personal assistant, Giuseppe Carletto. Carletto accused Donnie of grooming him over the course of years and eventually essaying and even R-wording him. Believe it or not, this all goes back over 25 years to the 2000s, and I'll explain why. In 2001, Donnie McClurkin released an autobiography called Eternal Victim, Eternal Victor. In this autobiography, McClurkin shocked the world when he publicly detailed his history of same-sex attractions. Donnie claimed that he was a victim of SA as a child, which led him to developing an attraction to men. He claimed his orientation was a pathology and a curse caused by the childhood SA, but according to Donnie, he had been delivered from liking men through prayer. After this revelation, this became a part of his Christian image. A man who experienced abuse as a child and was severely affected by it to the point that it altered his sexuality. He went on to pray his way to deliverance from the trauma and sin that came attached to his SA experience. This made Donnie the face of Christians who overcame their trauma and homosexual desires through prayer. In 2003, following the success of his autobiography, McClurkin began providing spiritual guidance to individuals seeking to overcome homosexuality like him. He would allegedly tell those who sought his guidance that they had to pray the gay away, offering them private sessions where he taught others how he overcame his unwanted desires. Which brings us to the lawsuit that was filed by one of his former personal assistants, who took on the spiritual challenge of praying the gay away. Giuseppe Carletto recently filed the lawsuit against Donnie McClurkin, accusing him of using those private pray the gay away sessions to groom and eventually R-word him. The story goes back to the early 2000s. After Donnie released his autobiography, Carletto purchased the book and connected with it because he himself dealt with a similar experience. So he decided to attend one of McClurkin's events. Giuseppe was brought to meet with McClurkin after the event, and the man took an immediate interest in him. According to Carletto, it was all very innocent at first and what he thought was just mentoring. Because of this connection, Carletto, then 21, joined McClurkin's Perfecting Faith Church in Long Island. Having struggled with his sexuality, he saw guidance from McClurkin, who had famously claimed to be delivered from his homosexuality in his 2001 autobiography. The suit alleges that McClurkin used private spiritual healing, or pray the gay away sessions, to begin essaying Carletto, specifically by groping his privates without consent. Eventually, Carletto became McClurkin's personal assistant in 2004 after spending a lot of time with the singer. The lawsuit alleges that not long after this, the abuse escalated to unspeakable levels during a business trip. The first incident allegedly happened in California back in 2007. While the two were alone in a hotel room, the gospel singer and pastor made his move and allegedly R-worded him. What's disturbing is that Corletto's then girlfriend was also on the trip. After this, McClurkin allegedly continued to R-word Corletto on several occasions, with the assaults reportedly occurring in Atlantic City, Manhattan, Boston, Florida, and Niagara Falls, as well as at McClurkin's home in Rockville Center, Long Island, all happening over the course of 8 years. The lawsuit alleges that McClurkin would also routinely grope Corletto secretly before preaching, which would often lead to Corletto breaking out crying during the service. The lawsuit states that if McClurkin noticed Corletto crying during the service, he would use his tears to encourage the congregation to express their own emotions. Corletto also accused McClurkin of biblical coercion, claiming every time he attempted to quit working for him, McClurkin used biblical manipulation, comparing their bonds to prophets like Elijah and Elisha, to convince Corletto that his spiritual deliverance and purpose were tied to staying in this relationship. Corletto claims to have undeniable proof of McClurkin's disturbing behavior, claiming to have an email sent from McClurkin apologizing for his disturbing behavior, going as far as to call himself a dirty old man in the email. The email read, "I am actually the epitome of a desperate dirty old man, pawning and groping a young man. I feel so foul, so stupid." The email allegedly continued, "I was horribly wrong trying to force you into something that you were consistently saying no to." It's crazy to think that a renowned gospel singer and pastor would be dumb enough to act like this, knowing that a scandal like this is career-ending for a man like him. This is just another instance of a religious leader using the gospel to take advantage of someone seeking guidance. This is truly disturbing in so many ways. A clear instance of a wolf in sheep's clothing. A man who pretended to be a representative of the gospel, but in reality was a fraud, using the word of God to feed his perverted desires. It's even more disturbing that he used his past as a victim of SA to lure victims who were dealing with the same thing. Also, he could allegedly take advantage of them. McClurkin eventually responded to the allegations with the same generic response we always see. His legal team, led by attorney Gregory S. Lisi, released a formal statement in response to the abuse allegations. They said this: "At no time did Pastor McClurkin engage in any form of SA, assault, or sexual coercion of Mr. Corletto. The claims outlined in this lawsuit grossly mischaracterized their interactions, which occurred over a decade and some accusations over 2 decades ago. All these allegations are contradicted by the real facts." While the lawyers called the allegations lies, they skipped over the email that was sent by the singer where he apologized and called himself a dirty old man. I believe the email is pretty much the nail in the coffin, as people only apologize when they have done something wrong. This email clearly shows guilt. The fact that his legal team didn't address the email head on might suggest that the email is real. Think about it. Usually, that would be the first thing the legal team leads with when challenging the allegations. What godly religious figure would call themselves a dirty old man and then apologize for doing something evil? To me, this pretty much proves that McClurkin's entire public persona was a lie for the last 25 years. He likely never stopped being interested in men and just hid his true desires with the Pray the Gay Away story, which also means his entire ministry is all a giant fraud. He probably doesn't even believe in God, just another fraud milking God's people. This is why it's important not just to follow any spiritual leader claiming to have the answers. Time after time, many of them prove they are just taking advantage of God's people, knowing that Christians have a big heart and tend to trust more easily. Donnie McClurkin made himself a multi-millionaire by fooling God's people, charging $50,000 to speak at events, all while being one big fraud. We recently saw a similar instance of a massive spiritual leader being exposed for taking advantage of people using the gospel. Former Trump spiritual advisor and Texas megachurch founder Robert Morris pleaded guilty to 5 felony counts of lewd or indecent acts with a person who wasn't of age in October 2025 and was sentenced to serve 6 months in jail. The charges stem from abuse that began on Christmas night in 1982 when the victim, Cindy Kleschmeyer, was 12 years old and Morris was 21, and a traveling evangelist staying with her family in Oklahoma. As part of a plea agreement reached in October 2025, Morris received a 10-year suspended sentence, but was ordered to serve an initial 6 months in county jail. He was also required to register as an offender and pay $250,000 in restitution to the victim. Just like McClurkin, Morris used his position as a religious leader to fulfill his wicked desires. A religious leader that ended up standing alongside of the President of the United States. In the case of Morris, there is no speculation. He took a plea deal and confirmed that he did in fact do the horrible things he was accused of. This is the reality with many of these religious leaders. They wear Christianity like a mask to hide who they truly are. allowing them to bring down people's defense and make them comfortable all so they can take advantage of them. I don't think it's a coincidence that many of the most corrupt pastors end up becoming the most influential. It's the devil's way of infiltrating the church and attacking God's real followers from within. This is what I believe Donnie McClurkin was being used for, a puppet to destroy God's movement from within. These are the ones that are the most important to expose, as they are the enemy that has successfully infiltrated the army of God. It's crazy to think that back in 2007, Donnie McClurkin was once removed from an Obama presidential campaign event because of his anti-gay stance, only for it to turn out that he was essentially gay himself the whole time. Truly one of the biggest frauds I have seen in a while. Well, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Let me know in the comment section. Before you guys go, I just wanted to remind my Patreon members that I recently released a new exclusive video about Donald Trump. If you're one of my members, make sure to check it out ASAP. You can find the link in the comments and in the description. If you're not a member, what are you waiting for? Join the truth movement and help me spread the truth. For $3 a month, not only will you be further supporting the channel, but you would also get access to over 50 exclusive Patreon videos that are not available here on YouTube. If you would like to join, you can find the link in the description or in the comment section. I want to thank you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.